Hello, friends. In today's video on Sweet Lines, I'll be drawing a cute pancake with delicious honey. But it's not just a drawing. There's also an exciting story full of strange and wonderful events that you'll love following. And at the end, you'll find a fun riddle to solve in the comments. Plus, on the community tab, I'll be adding puzzles and fun activities so we can play together. In a world that was a dream for everyone, where the floors were covered in soft powdered sugar and the mountains were made of dark, crunchy chocolate, lived a little pancake named Pan. Pan was special, not just because he was delicious and covered in golden honey, but because he dreamed bigger dreams than anyone else in his village. He dreamed of flying among the clouds made of cotton candy, wanting to see the faraway horizon, where no sweet creature had ever been before. One day, while Pan was sitting by the slowly flowing honey river, he felt a gentle tremble beneath his feet. He turned to find a small stone glowing blue beside him. Pan carefully picked up the stone, and as soon as he touched it, a pleasant warmth spread through his body, as if the stone carried a big secret. Then he heard a soft whisper saying, "Oh Pancake, if you want to fulfill your dream of flying, you must uncover the ancient secrets hidden in the dark chocolate mountains. But be careful, the journey is long and full of challenges no one has ever faced before." Pan decided he couldn't go on this journey alone. He immediately went to the house of his best friend, Berry, a little strawberry known for her quick moves and courage. He knocked on the door of her house made of sponge cake and berries, and Berry came out smiling, saying, "Pan, what brings you here at this hour?" Pan told her about the strange stone and the journey he wanted to take to fulfill his dream. Without hesitation, Berry said, "Of course I'll go with you on this journey. Adventures are what we live for, right?" After that, they went to Chris, the brave almond who was known for fearing nothing. Chris lived in a house made of almond bars covered in thick honey. When Pan told him about the journey, Chris laughed and said, "Climbing mountains. Yeah, that's my thing. I won't let you face this challenge alone. We'll reach the top of the mountains together." The three friends began their long journey. The days passed slowly, and each step brought them closer to the dark chocolate mountains. Along the way, they passed through giant forests made of huge apples and kiwis, with fruits hanging larger than anything they had ever seen before. But things weren't easy. The first challenge they faced was the river of flowing juices, a strange river that changed color and taste every few minutes. Sometimes it turned into orange juice, other times strawberry juice, and sometimes even sour lemon juice. The problem was they had to cross the river to get to the other side, but there were no bridges or floating boats. Berry sat thinking, then said, "What if we use the big apple pieces that fall from the trees as floats?" Everyone agreed on the idea. They gathered some large apple pieces and tied them together with dried fruit branches, then rode these afloats and began crossing the river. But the biggest surprise came when they were in the middle of the river. Suddenly, the river turned into sour lemon juice, and the waves began to move faster and bigger. It was terrifying. The juice waves threatened to drown them, but Chris, using his wit, began using dried strawberry sticks as oars, paddling hard until they reached the other shore. They sighed in relief, knowing the real challenge was still ahead. After crossing the river, they entered the Forgotten Sweets forest. This forest was completely dark, with only a little light coming from tiny sugar stars glittering on the trees. The forest was full of strange jelly-like candy creatures that moved silently in the darkness. The strangest creatures there were the jelly ghouls, transparent creatures that shimmered in the dark, appearing only when someone got close to the forest's secrets. Suddenly, a huge jelly ghoul appeared before them. It was sticky and transparent, blending into the surrounding darkness. In a deep, slow voice, it said, "To pass through this forest, you must answer my riddle." Everyone went silent for a moment, then the ghoul said, "I'm something that comes from the sky, but I'm not water. I fall slowly, making children happy, and cover the ground in white. What am I?" The three friends thought hard. Berry whispered, "It must be snow." The ghoul answered, "Well done, you may pass." They continued through the forest until they found the exit. There, they stood before the dark chocolate mountains. The mountains were tall, seeming to reach the clouds. The walls were covered in slowly melting chocolate, and the smell was so delicious that Pan felt like staying there forever. But the task wasn't easy. They had to climb these towering mountains to reach the top, where they could discover the secret that would give Pan the ability to fly. They started climbing, and each step was harder than the last. They clung to the frozen chocolate, slowly making their way up. Halfway up the mountain, they faced a new challenge. Small creatures that looked like cakes lived in the mountain, trying to stop them. These creatures were playful but stubborn. The leader of the cakes said, "You cannot continue climbing unless you solve our riddle." The cake's riddle was, "I'm something you can hold in your hand, but I get smaller over time." "What am I?" Chris smiled and said, "A candle." The cake leader laughed and said, "Correct, you may pass." They continued climbing until they finally reached the top. There, the view was breathtaking. Clouds surrounded them, and the sun rose in a golden hue, reflecting off the chocolate mountains. In the middle of this scene, the wise croissant appeared before them. The wise one sat on a rock made of granulated sugar, smiling warmly and said, "You've come a long way, but I see that you've realized that flying isn't in the wings, but in the desire and determination." He added, "But to fulfill your dream, Pan, you must solve one last riddle. The riddle is, something you see every day, but it never looks the same twice." "What is it?" Pan thought for a long time. Finally, he said, "It's the sunset. We see it every day, but it's never the same." The wise croissant smiled and said, "Well done. Now you've learned that dreams come true when you insist on chasing them." Pan and his friends returned to their village, carrying the great lessons they had learned, not just about flying, but about friendship, courage, and determination. The riddle for the followers. Now it's your turn. Are you ready to solve your own riddle? I'm something you can see but can't touch. I'm always with you, but you can never hold me. What am I? Here are your choices. 1. The wind. 2. The shadow. 3. The clouds. Write your answer in the comments, and don't forget to check the community tab for new puzzles and fun activities. I hope you enjoyed this exciting story, and of course, don't forget the cute pancake drawing with honey. Remember, Sweet Lines uploads new videos every day, whether it's a story or a drawing. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the upcoming videos. And don't forget to join in the fun with your answers and comments.